Court, the movie podcast where Sean
And Mampy.
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
And guess what we saw?
The Watchers. What did we watch? We watched
The Watchers.
Who Watches the Watchers?
Who watches the Watchers? We watch the Watchers.
Who
Watchers.
Who Watchers the Watchers?
Who Watchers? Did you watch the Watchers?
Directed by A. Shyamalan.
A.
What
Shyamalan.
is her first name?
Uh,
Is it Alyssa?
it was something like that. Isia?
It's
Isaiah?
some nice name. It's a pretty name.
Yeah, something beautiful.
It's Shyamalan's daughter.
Yes.
The M. Night Shyamalan.
The M. Night, which it's based on a book by A.M. Shine, and I thought that A.M. Shine was his daughter, but it's not.
Oh.
Unless it is, but I don't think it is.
Is A.M. Shine.
I thought that was just I guess it's just some random.
That sounds like a fake name, right?
I know that, and I was like, is that like a... At first I thought it was his daughter trying to get away from the bad
Sure.
name that he had.
The bad name?
You know, because people,
Oh, people
they
do
go
hate
and
it.
they go, oh boy, what's the twist going to be this time? It's actually a good movie.
Here's another M. Night Shyamalan movie.
People love twists. What is this mess about not liking
I like
twists? Especially like
If they're good ones.
Taco Bell cinnamon twist.
Oh, yeah. Chubby Checker.
Oh, what's that?
Come on, baby, let's do the twist.
Oh, I thought it was a food item. I'll take one chubby checker.
Is that what it's called at Checkers? The Chubby Check?
Maybe.
It should be.
It should be. That's what you'll be if you have too many of them.
Sounds awesome. I've been gaining a lot of weight, and I think I'm going to keep on doing
Hell
it.
yeah, bring it. A poll showed that most people who are happy
Yeah.
are chubby.
Big old chunkers?
Yeah, they're very happy with their lives.
Really?
Yeah, as long as they don't go on the internet or post anything about themselves, they're fine. They're totally
Yeah, then people are like, ugh.
Yeah, how dare you present yourself to us? I'm
Who's
sorry.
this mound?
Yeah.
Who's this big old chunker trying
Yeah.
to tell me about stuff?
Do you have a stomach? What is your problem? I don't know.
Not for long.
No, yeah.
Sucking it in the whole time. Hey,
We watched
okay.
The Watcher.
We watched The Watchers. Directed by A. Shyamalan.
A. Shyamalan.
Starring A. Fanning.
Yes.
L. Fanning.
Dakota
Dakota?
Fanning.
Dakota? Wait, oh yes.
Yeah,
This is Dakota Fanning, not L. Fanning.
Which I thought she was going to show up, but she didn't.
Was no L. Fanning.
There was no L. Fanning.
Just, there was a double Dakotas. Spoiler alert.
Sorry, yeah.
Spoiler alert,
Spoiler.
double Dakotas.
Double Dakota.
Spoiler alert, that lady from Barbarian.
Oh, yeah. That is what she... I was like, how do I know her?
Spoiler alert, that lady from Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yep.
2020?
Which is...
Or 2021? I don't remember what it was.
21. Is she the lady who was in the original one?
No.
That would have been amazing, though.
They
wouldn't it?
should have... What is she doing?
Oh, she played
She might be dead, right?
played the character. She's not
Oh,
her.
yes, she
I
did
was
play
like, why do I keep confusing that?
Yeah.
That's
What's your
why.
fucking problem?
The lines of reality and fiction.
Well, that's... The tough part is... All of it is fiction
All
because
of it.
we are in a simulation.
Yeah, that's true. There's been a lot of... Yesterday, I went to get brunch with someone, and it
yeah.
felt like a simulation. We walked in, there were 5 greeters. They were all like, hey, how can we help you? We were like, this is a lot. And 2 servers were, for some reason, serving us and brought 2 giant things of whipped cream. It was like the weirdest experience. I was like, something's up
Do you
here.
think it was a glitch?
I think it was a glitch.
Like they overstaffed. Somebody clicked too many clicks?
I think so. And even the logo, it had really tall letters. Like
Oh.
the tops of the letters were really tall. Like, yeah.
Could have accidentally been scratched or something?
Yeah, something's fun. And all the managers were like, would you like to give us 5 stars? They like, we were like, oh.
No.
I don't think so.
What do you mean?
It was very weird.
Are you allowed to ask people that in person?
They were doing it. They're like,
Hey,
please give us
good
5
for them.
stars. Hey, I was proud of them.
Put it on blast. What is this? No.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait, you can if you want to.
It starts with a K. It's a breakfast place. You
Ends
can
with
find it.
2 Ks.
It ends with 2 K.
It's KKK breakfast. Food's great.
Yeah.
Little racist, though.
Just a
There's
little
just
bit.
a touch racist.
Just a little bit. You know, people never liked my bit where
Okay. Go on.
I say I'm in a group called the Cake. We're great. We love cake. Oh, we only like white cake. Well, we'll take a chocolate cake, but only if we can beat it with bets first.
Nobody ever liked that joke?
They were like, "Oh, how dare you?
Are you telling me that the KKK were bad?
They're bad." Yeah, wait a minute. Hold up.
It's one of the toughest things about jokes is people are so stupid.
They are just so dumb.
Did you read the thing about... sorry, we'll talk about the Watchers eventually.
Yeah.
Did you read the thing about the guy who plays Rictus? Apparently the guy who plays Rictus in Furiosa and Fury Road has been getting like lots of private messages saying that they're really disappointed in him for what his character did in Furiosa.
What? Okay.
And he had to do like a post that was like, "Hey, I don't think it's good to try to molest a child."
Exactly. I was playing a character.
Like,
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
People are just.
I don't approve of your character's actions that were written for you to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
People are wild.
People are so stupid.
What happened is, and this is the irony, is us doing this podcast, but like everyone now is like, "Oh, I am supposed to give my opinion," but we're trained professionals.
Oh, yeah.
We know movies.
Yeah.
We do jokes.
Also, we're not doing the, let's say, cinema sins.
Yeah, that type.
We're not doing like, oh well, if it's the future and it's a post-apocalypse, then they probably wouldn't even have cars.
Oh yeah, ding, 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 ding. Oh god, yeah, so just stupid. Complaining. Like,
hey, if you want to hire us, though, obviously we'll be happy to do it. But
people will say like, "Oh,
it does suck." It's awful.
Yeah. Well, I had someone say like, "Oh, you don't enjoy any movie." I was like, "No, we just see every movie."
Yeah.
So that raises the odds. Yeah. That there'll be some not good ones.
Also, the whole show is built around saying good things and saying bad things.
Exactly.
About every movie.
Which is nice. We have a formula of fairness.
And I think, honestly, that we're too kind on many movies.
That is true. Sometimes we have, there's a couple examples where we were very cruel.
Yeah.
And deservedly. Space Jam, Mario movie.
Yeah. Really
I
sucks.
think...
The Watchers.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
We're about to throw down on this mother.
Maybe?
I don't know. What do you think of it?
You know what happens in The Watchers? What did I think about it?
What'd you
I have like nothing. This is the hard part is I had no thoughts about it.
Yeah, you're just sitting there.
I was like, okay. Now, this may be in A Violent Nature's fault because, like, in A Violent Nature was at turns so tedious.
Yeah.
That, like, just seeing a movie that, like, wasn't as tedious was like, oh, this is pretty good, I guess.
Actually.
But maybe it wasn't good.
Yeah.
It might not have been good, but, like, every minute or so, someone stood up or sat down
did something. It was shot fairly well, I thought.
Some of it looks cool, yeah.
I think... I definitely liked it more than that movie, than Violent Nature. And, yeah, it was just like, well, you know, this is happening. Like, it's going, all right.
Okay, they're doing the...
I think I liked it up until the last, like, 20 minutes.
Spoiler alert.
I was like, that was decent.
The last 20 minutes really did...
Got a little wild.
Well, they had... It was a case of... 10 endings?
Yeah.
12 endings?
I was every time I kept cutting to more footage, I was like, what? How? Yeah, there's more movie. Yeah,
it was very tricky.
It was tricky.
The twist in this movie was that it kept going.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
But they kept twisting it.
They can't, yeah.
What? It's still going?
But do you know what happens if you keep twisting something?
Yeah.
Eventually it breaks.
Yeah.
And that's what we had, I thought, on this
Take that.
case.
Whatever your name is, Shyamalan.
You'll never be your father. You should give up now.
I mean, you know, what the hell?
I mean, for a first movie, though, I thought pretty dang good.
My first movie's going to suck so bad.
Well, we don't have rich dads that can give us
not yet.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, we can,
a rich benefactor can be our daddy, the food court daddy.
If you could be the food court daddy,
in.
And we don't need a lot of money to make the movie.
$3 million.
$3 million?
I'll take $3 million.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like like 20 grand.
Okay, you make one for 20 grand. I'll make one for 3 mil just to see.
Okay.
Compare
Man, if I kick your ass, you're
that would be amazing.
Really sad.
I bet that's a good competition. Like, give 2 directors, like one director who's got no experience, a bunch of money.
Yeah.
One director who has a lot of experience, a little bit of money.
I would watch that.
And just see what happens. This
like
is a great idea.
Alternate Project Greenlight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we watched The Watchers.
yeah, getting to...
Starring one of the Fannings.
Yes.
And this is what happens.
Yes, tell us about it.
It's all told like a story for some reason. I don't remember why.
It's
but our lead character, Dakota Fanning.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota?
Yeah, Dakota.
Is in Ireland for some reason.
Yes.
And she works at a pet store.
Mira. Is that
Mina.
it? Mina.
Oh, yes,
Mina.
like Mina Harker from I thought for sure it was going to be a vampire movie.
I know, right?
But it wasn't a vampire movie. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry.
There's all spoilers.
Yeah.
And she is tasked with a 1-day drive taking a yellow parrot bird to somewhere in Ireland through the world's most dangerous forest.
Yeah. That isn't on any maps.
And it's endless.
It's endless. Yeah. It never ends.
And her car stops, and she and the bird, they're like, hey, what's going on? Hello. And someone goes, rawr.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, no. And they start running.
I get out of there.
And they get to a box, and there's an old lady and a young guy, and that lady from Barbarian.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, don't worry, we know what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're going to tell you all the dumb shit that's happening.
Exactly.
Close the door. First, close the door.
Close the door.
Because there's some guys out there. They're called the Watchers.
Yeah, watch out.
And they're watching. What they do is they watch.
You.
But only at night. If you go out during the day, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
But there are mile markers.
Yes.
And if you cross the mile marker, that means you won't get back by sundown.
Yes. Luckily, these were all put down by Professor Snodgrass or whatever his name was. Dr. Professor.
Dr. Professor.
Who at some point was there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's unclear how that all happened.
Truly is. It truly is. And then at some point, Mina's like, we're getting out of here.
I'm done with these rules.
Yeah. And somehow, as she's trying, the Watchers get mad and they smash the window.
Yes.
And it's a big crack, and they're like, oh no, we're done for.
We're done for.
And they're like trying to close the door.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, they unveil what seems like a hole in the floor underneath a carpet, which is pretty cool.
Pretty neat.
And then they go down there and watch some videos.
Some classic vids.
And the doctor's like, I have been trying to meet the fairies for a long time.
Make sure to like and subscribe, smash that bell or whatever.
Yes.
Ring the
Follow
bell.
me for more videos about the fairies.
Yeah.
I'm out here in the woods.
That would be incredible if you've just been uploading them to YouTube. They have like 5 views. I would love that.
That would be a good bit in the movie. That's like the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Is like the first comment. No thanks, you fuck. You brought us out in the middle of the woods with these fucking killer fairies. By the way, spoiler alert, they are fairies.
Oh, yeah. They're just big fairies.
At some point, they tell you that they're fairies. Yeah. But they don't got no wings no more.
They lost their wings.
And using the information told to them by Dr. Professor.
Yes.
They realize that there's a boat past 145 or so one of the numbers.
Markers,
so they go out that way and they get free.
They get free.
Or do they? Oh, yes, because the Irish guy gets killed.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Or does he get eaten and turned into, or...
He becomes one.
Yeah, it's
very odd. You don't know. They just take over your body, I guess.
Yeah. Do they take over your body, or was the dead body absconded with, and then they immediately...
Yeah. Well, because he marks him, and then...
Oh, yeah.
I think he was like... And he's like, now I'm a fairy.
Well, hello.
Well...
Now I'm a fairy.
Oh,
and
boy.
Then They're back.
They're back. And you would think the movie would have ended.
Of course, that would be when the movie would end. But little did we know that the old lady that we thought was just a regular old lady was married to the professor. Mm-hmm. And furthermore, the lady who was married to the professor
is dead. Ding, 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 ding.
Which means she is probably a fairy.
She's a fairy. She's a fairy. Whoa.
Whoa, she's a fairy. Did I mention earlier that they're shapeshifters?
Yeah, I know. We did.
They're shapeshifters.
They shapeshift. Yeah.
They're slowly learn over a long period of time, I guess. Since like
anybody.
It seems like kind of since the beginning of time when they got banished. Mm-hmm. But they're learning how to look like people.
Yeah, that's their whole thing. They're like, oh,
but they're real tall, but they can kind of shrink down and look like a guy you know.
Why? Because they're not allowed to leave the forest. So you're like, what would be the point of becoming people? But hey, you know, they're bored. They got to do something.
Yeah.
But big spoiler alert, they don't have their box anymore. They can't watch anybody.
Yeah.
The box is gone.
So they're pissed.
Destroyed, yeah.
And furthermore, the old lady that we thought was an old lady, who was not an old lady because that old lady's dead.
Yeah.
So she's in fact a fairy. Is a fairy.
She's a fairy.
And she's going to kill everyone?
Well, she's a halfling.
She's a halfling. They literally call her a daywalker, which I thought was a little much considering they call Blade a daywalker.
Yeah.
But it is pretty cool.
My name's Blade. Oh yeah, she transforms into Wesley Snipes. That would be amazing.
I mean, I love Wesley Snipes as Blade.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Blade 2, one of the coolest movies ever.
Rules.
Great movie.
Both movies rule.
Both. Yeah, I'm glad they
just
stopped
the
it
first two. Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously they would never do a movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Definitely
that would ruin any movie.
It's amazing how many movies they keep making with him, and they just are instantly ruined.
He keeps making money, though. That's the scary part.
You know what I gotta bring up? I don't get it. The Wolverine Deadpool trailer, every time it comes on, silence in the theater at every joke.
Yes.
Every joke. And I bet it'll still have millions of people go see it. It's like, why?
I mean, I'm going to go see it.
Well, there we go.
Probably for the podcast, but...
Yeah. I just don't get that. Like, my sister's like, oh, I gotta go see Bad Boy, the new Bad Boy. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
That's another one where the whole trailer, I'm just like, what are these bits? I don't even...
It's tough because the last one was not very good at all.
Yeah.
And this one was directed by the same people, which makes me think that it won't be very good at all. But the first two are pretty awesome. So
at least
there's some small part of me that's like, oh, maybe the fourth one, which is directed by the same people as the last one, will be really good, even though the last one wasn't good. Seems unlikely.
It could,
but there's some directors who just have they're on again, off again. Some directors who just make some shit and make some good movies and make some shit. So maybe they're that.
Make some movies, make some shit, make some movies, make some shit.
Speaking of movies, in The Watchers, the lady who's the dead lady who's not a dead lady, etc. She tries to kill everybody.
Yes, which is wild.
Why?
I don't know. I guess she was like, no one can know, which I don't understand because she could just change into anyone and never be.
But no one can know, so she tries to kill all the people who are still around, and they survive.
They survive because they go, "You're good," and she goes, "All right, I'm good."
That is kind of what happens, isn't it? And then it grows wings.
And flies
away. Kind of reminded me of Split.
Yeah, I still never saw it.
Fucking rules.
I need to see it.
Check out Check out Split. It fucking rules. From the director of Cube.
Oh.
I know there's some big Cube heads out there.
All our Cube heads come out to play.
And then there's one more ending.
I think so.
Because Dakota Fanning is talking to Dakota Fanning.
It's insane.
Who is her sister that they've shown us before, but she's got big scars on her face. Mm-hmm. And Dakota Fanning's like, yeah, I keep seeing people who I think are her. And then they do the really silly ending that is in lots of silly endings where the monster looks at the camera.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
They show this little redhead girl's back of her head, and she turns around. And she's got kind of weird eyes.
It's like,
that's
the end. No. I never get when it's like revealing something that is apparent.
Yeah. And that's the end.
Yeah. Do you think anyone was watching? They like tested it and they're like, well, who's the girl with the red hair?
Why do they keep showing the girl with the red hair while they're talking about how a little girl?
Yeah.
It was. She thought the little girl was the old lady.
And like, what does that signify? What is she? Because like, I always think if you had a different camera angle, she's just staring at nothing. Like, what is she looking at?
She looks at nothing. Yeah. Now, I will say. One of my favorite movie endings is someone turning their head a little bit. So,
interesting.
At the end, I won't tell you why he does it in case you haven't seen it. But at the end of The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, there's a really good Walter Matthau
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's good.
Interesting.
So forget I said that, and then watch the movie because it's one of the best ever.
The original.
The original.
Okay,
the remakes also okay, but kind of a mess. But the original rules.
Okay, all right.
There's good things about this movie. What?
You know,
what are they?
Yeah, I didn't mind. I thought the mystery of what they were was handled pretty well. They held off for a while.
I think for a while, yeah.
It was like, ooh, what is this? I like the burrow. The burrow was a cool idea.
Yes, that was a cool scene, too.
Yeah, that was good.
So there's the burrow. Wait. Was there a thing I liked the most? Though?
Oh, yeah. What's your gyro? Your beef lamb gyro?
Let me talk about the burrow first, and then I'll think of the best thing. So they're these burrows. Of course, the Watchers, they can't be out during the day, so they've got burrows. So they go down there, and old Dakota, Mina, is like, we got to go down there and find what shit they got or something.
Yeah.
Because of course there's light shining down the hole.
Right in the hole.
And they drop her all the way down the hole.
They really do.
Declan or Seamus or whatever the Irish guy's name is. They drop him down the hole, and they find a bike and a video camera and some other shit.
Some other stuff.
And then they go back up. But first, there's some scary fingers that get burned.
Through. Yeah,
and he goes, no, I don't like that. And then they run?
And then the old lady's like, where did you get these?
You didn't find these in a burrow, did you?
Which now, knowing that she's a fairy, she was like, you stole this from the fairies.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Those are my friends.
Yeah, come on.
We also know, because of later in the movie, that the burrows are actually opposite burrows. Oh. Because the fairies burrowed out from under the earth to get out because they'd been... Trapped?
Underneath.
Or... buried? I don't know what happened.
There's a big sealed in.
Yeah, there's a big piece of stone.
It's about a magic.
That has their head.
You have to accept that magic exists.
Yes, it's. I will say, for better or worse, this seems like a movie made by someone whose dad told them "Lady in the Water."
Yeah, absolutely. The whole time I was like, "This is a very Lady in the Water vibe type movie," which I'm one of the few people who like that movie.
We are the only ones. Yeah, the only living fans.
I like it.
Of Lady in the Water.
And I mean, I get the whole criticism of him being the chosen one or whatever, but if you just get past it, it's like, who cares? It's fine.
I truly don't care about that because in one of the movies before, he was the guy who killed somebody's wife.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, he's both.
Exactly.
If he's both, it's okay.
Yeah. Man, Signs. Woo. I still love that movie. It is so dang good.
Fucking rules.
That's just a masterful. That's what's so. I love seeing the range. It's like, it's crazy. At a certain point, you should just stop. You go, all right, I did it.
You mean Shyamalan?
Yeah, I hit my peak. I can just stop now.
Yeah, but then he did Old.
Oh, I never saw it.
Old's fucking awesome, dude. And then he did Knock at the Cabin, remember?
Oh, right. Yeah.
He shouldn't quit.
He's
still, his Midland movies, which are pretty much anything, in the last 17 years or so, are much better than most people's movies.
True. That is true. And he's trying.
In my opinion.
He's trying.
Tweet at us at FoodCourtCast if you think that you could make a better movie than M. Night Shyamalan.
I can make a better movie than the Airbender one he did, but other than that...
Yeah.
And some of the others...
Didn't he do a Will Smith movie?
Yeah, After Earth. I forgot about that. It looks pretty bad, but...
It looks bad.
You never know.
Eventually... Now, I did rewatch The Happening recently, and I thought it was good. So,
wow.
It's very dangerous... Because if I watch After Earth, I might like that too. And then
I can't.
And then I might watch Airbender and like that, and then I may be fully Shyamalan pilled.
Egregiously bad. Like the camera angles are. It's weird. They say everyone's name wrong from the show. It's so like the main character's name is Aang, and they all call him Ong the whole time. It's a very bizarre. I don't know what was going on there. And the creators of Avatar left. They were like, this guy's fucking insane. I mean, they did that the same on the Netflix show, too. They were like, y'all aren't listening. Just left. That show was kind of a mess, too. Anyway, just leave it a cartoon. That's what I've learned, and that's what you should learn.
Just leave it a cartoon.
Which I did like that this doesn't translate, or there's no way to segue. But
The Watchers?
Things about The Watchers that I liked. I liked the bird. Thought the bird was great.
Oh, the bird was fun.
Loved the bird device.
I thought of my favorite thing.
Oh, go ahead.
There were some good color choices.
Yeah, the colors were good.
So they were like, we're going to be in the green woods. Mm-hmm. Everything's going to be green.
Yes.
Or like pale blue and dark.
Yes.
And foggy. So we're going to need some colors.
Yeah.
So there's the bird that's bright yellow. Mm-hmm. The husband who gets spoiler alert, murdered, has a big red jacket. The little SUV and her shirt are this kind of like sky blue that really looks cool amongst the trees. Some of that stuff was quite nice, I thought.
Yeah, a lot of, and the yellow contrast when they're in the viewing room.
Oh, yes. Like, that was really cool.
I thought there were some really good things. And when it becomes night, it becomes yellow and they can't see out of it. I was like, that's kind of fun.
It's nice.
Which is interesting.
Is there anything else good about this movie?
I liked some of the suspense stuff. Like I liked when the Irish guy locked them out, and you're like, "Oh shit! What's gonna happen?" Which was wild. And then when they finally get in, because that was pretty suspenseful, where all the creatures are going by, and you're like, I like them standing up, and you just see their silhouette.
Oh yeah, even though I don't think it was teased enough to really work as a reveal. Yeah, I liked the fact that there was an underground bunker.
Yeah, that was cool.
That they were above the whole time,
I was like,
and they could have easily gotten into if anyone had told them.
A Saw thing or something. Like the whole time it's just right there. The answer. Yeah. You're like,
but I felt like, let's see what else is good. I was gonna say something negative and then I paused. Is there anything? What's the best part though?
Oh, the best part.
Is the color really the best part?
Yeah, the color. I think the going down in the burrow is probably the best scene. Yeah. It's like got the most like suspense to it. I also like when they finally get back in the the whatever it's called. I don't know what we call it.
Let's just call it the box.
Yeah, the box after Seamus locks them out or whatever his name is.
His name is Toy.
Ba BB.
He's from Ireland.
The color green.
My name is the color green.
They finally get back in after Mina says something about like her mom never loved her or something weird like that, and he's like, "Yeah, me too. Your mom never loved me either." And they get in, and the old lady's like, "I should have killed you when I had the." I was like, "Dang."
Yeah.
And then I love when they're like facing the glass; it's all shattered, and she's like, "If this glass breaks, we're done." I was like, "That's great." She goes, "This is over." I was like,
"This is over."
Which do you think she would have instantly been like, "No, I'm a fairy. Don't worry."
I wonder.
Yeah, like, "Oh, don't kill me."
Would they have killed her?
I wonder.
I mean,
maybe.
Can they tell?
I don't know.
Can you smell?
Can you smell?
Or I don't know.
That's why I was wondering if the fairy lady, they didn't find them because she was there.
Oh,
so I have no idea.
Interesting.
It's very interesting and hard to say.
Not the same thing at all. Mm-hmm. But have you heard of Nightshade? It's like this new thing created by people at the University of Chicago, and they're trying to poison AI like bots.
Whoa.
That are like sweeping up stuff.
Interesting.
So somehow, it like puts like some kind of thing over your files, like your video, like your movie files and your picture files that you upload, because like Adobe and lots of different companies are like, yeah, whatever you have, we're taking.
That's crazy.
So apparently, it's like this thing where we see a cow, but the AI sees something totally different.
Whoa.
So it's assigning like a different thing to cow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm excited.
That's wild.
The battle against AI has begun, and it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But, we're having fun.
Whoever wins, we lose.
Wow.
You know what looks good?
Yeah?
Sorry. Alien Romulus. I'm so excited.
Fuck.
They released like the full trailer, and I was like... The part where the guy puts like the light behind his back and you see the chest burster in there. Yeah. I was like, oh my... Oh, there's so many fun little things. I'm like, I don't care if this sucks. I'm just excited to... It just looks cool.
I love Fede Alvarez.
I love it. All these nerds are picking apart the designs of the creatures. I'm like, just stop, y'all. Just be happy.
It depends. If it sucks, I'll make fun of it.
Yeah,
and if it's good, I'll love it.
I mean, I wasn't a fan of... the last couple, but I love the first two. So
no one was, but we all just say we were.
Yeah,
we're like, well, I do like aliens though.
I like aliens.
I mean, I like the character of the alien.
Yeah, I like the xenomorph.
You good guy.
That's what this movie needed.
If there was truly a good creature design.
Yeah.
Instead of like kind of a non-design, which is what they did.
Really
it's just there's just like a darkness.
Yeah.
Might have been cool.
Well, you know what I was hoping? I thought a nice twist was going to be that the professor traps a fairy down there.
Yes.
And is like trying to train it. I was hoping the fairy was going to still be like they get down there and the fairy's like broken out of the cage and it's like a feral fairy that's been trapped in this vault. That would have been a nice little like fight moment, but all along it was the old woman.
Yeah.
So no fight necessary.
I also like that the professor fucked a fairy.
Yeah.
One of the plot points is that the professor had sex with a fairy.
We love to have sex.
Who he had in captivity. He like jail raped a fairy and saying stuff.
He got jiggy with it.
He did get jiggy with it. But we can't only say nice things because I can't think of anything else.
I can't. I mean, it wasn't like nothing was like made me. Well, no, that's not true. But there were a lot of it. I was like, all right, this is fun.
Yeah,
I thought the opening was fun. You know, it was kind of cool. I like how the guy he like walks and he ends up at the same thing and then like falls down that tree and hits every limb and he's just like
doop.
And the fairies are like, we're gonna eat you.
There were some good jump scares, surprisingly. Some good caws.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
And in that scene, he's like climbing the tree and he looks down and and you're like, oh shit. Sometimes you just can't help it. You're like, whoa, how could I have known that this bird would be flying in my face? That's like, I gotta be scared of that.
That's the beauty of it. But it can't all be good. You know what the worst part of this movie is?
I think I do.
Tell me.
I mean, it's apparent.
Tell me what is the worst part?
There's like we talked about. There's like 7 endings. And it's just like you just get to a point where like they have like a graduate ending where they're on a bus. Where you're like, oh, they got out.
It's kind of a fun. If that was the ending, I'd be like, it's okay.
I liked it because they kind of had this vibe of like, oh, do we trust these people on this bus?
Yeah,
like, I was hoping
that was fun. Yeah,
or like it was gonna seem like the bus was heading back into the woods.
Oh, that'd be cool.
End. Yeah. Then they go to her at the professor's office trying to destroy the stuff. She's learning all this stuff about the fairies. Then they go to her going to Kira's house to tell her that the lady's a thing, and then the lady is really the fairy. Kira's really the fairy lady.
Yes. Then Kira shows up.
Yeah, Kira shows up. They have a whole fight. Then they have the sister. It was just like, this has to end. And
then they show the little red girl,
little red girl. Little red girl.
You know what the worst part of the movie for me is? And I regret saying this already. I thought Dakota Fanning was the worst part of the movie.
Dang. He said it.
And it hurts me because Of course, I'm a big War of the Worlds fan.
Oh, my. Best performance, I think, of her career.
Huge fan of Man on Fire.
Oh, best performance. I just say that.
Big fan of Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh, my God.
Wait, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes, big fan of Uptown Girls.
Yeah.
Her classic film.
Big fan of those.
Yeah.
I just felt like she didn't match the character at all.
Yeah, I see
like the
that.
character as written is like kind of a brash, badass. Like I'm not gonna follow your rules.
Yeah.
But she's just kind of like, oh, so we're in the woods here.
Yeah.
She's like very monotone.
Yeah, kind of unimpressed.
Very sort of emotionless. And if that had been the character that they had written,
fine. Yeah.
It maybe be weird, but it would sort of make sense.
Yeah.
But there's just like, since basically all we know about her character is that like she's such a badass that she killed her mom in a car crash.
Yeah.
Like she does not follow the rules, even if it means that her mom's got to get killed in a car crash.
Exactly.
And then like when we meet her, she's just like, hey, oh, that's a cool bird.
All right.
Oh, I like to put on wigs and have sex. Okay. Well, have a good day.
All right, see you. Yeah. It's very interesting.
It's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
And I think it also is like, well, she's the main character, and there's not much there.
Yeah, not
so
much
it's like
to cling to.
Hard. It's hard to care about the movie.
Yeah.
It's also hard to know, like, how long has she been there?
Yeah.
What is happening with that?
It doesn't really, yeah.
Was she there for 6 months? Was she there for 1 month?
Who knows?
Was she there for 3 weeks?
Yeah, you don't really get it because you see like her draw like a big map.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah, you have no sense of really. She's not like growing a beard or anything. You can't tell that.
And it's also not like they show you the different like parts of the map being drawn over time. It's like, well, she's almost finished.
Yeah.
She must be there for, I don't know how long does it take to draw a map of the woods?
I don't know, 12 hours?
Yeah, maybe. Truly, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. And there's like vague stuff, like there's rules, but they don't really make sense. They're like, never turn your back to the glass. It's like, well,
that does not make any sense. They never cover that, right?
No, it's like everyone was like asleep in the room.
Yeah.
It was like, they all turned to go. They all walk backwards and lay down. It's like kind of goofy. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, that doesn't come up, right? That's not ever important.
No, not really. I mean, I think there's a part where she like lays down and they get mad.
Oh yeah.
Like, but everyone else. There's this shot, I swear, where only her and the Irish guy are in the room.
Yes.
And I was like, where are
they?
Two
Yeah.
people? It makes no sense.
Weird.
It was a little odd. I was like,
weird.
I don't know. There was some, and then this took me back to Imaginary.
Oh.
Again, the elder lady, the character just becomes exposition lady. And you're like, man, every time you talk, it's like a 3-page soliloquy.
Ooh.
Is that right?
No, it is now.
Not soliloquy.
I think that's right.
Is it? Yeah, because a monologue's by yourself, but a soliloquy is to other. Maybe I made that up. I don't know if that's right.
I think it works.
Okay, we'll go with it.
Tweet at us.
Yeah.
At Food Court Cast. What does soliloquy mean?
I thought it.
How do you spell it?
SOL QUY soliloquy.
SOLIO. Wait. Take two. Can you use it in a sentence?
I delivered a bittersweet soliloquy.
Okay, what is the country of origin?
Sicily.
Okay.
Sicily.
A soliloquy from Sicily. SOLILOQUY.
I think that's it. Soliloquy.
Soliloquy. Tweet at us, please, at Food Court Cast. Let us know.
I think, but yeah, she's just like, and then the fairies, and you're like, oh my god, how many times? Are you
and after the great battle between the fairies and the humans, and like that kind of stuff is like really.
And no one's ever like, Maybe they ask her once, but it's just like, how the fuck do you know all
what
this
the fuck
shit?
are you talking about?
Yeah, I wish that's my type of thing. Like if someone had just said that line, what the fuck are you talking about?
So I get that we're in a box.
Yeah.
And that there's like a viewing window. So there's already strange things happening.
It's weird.
And the woods obviously has some weird magic to it.
Yes, yeah.
But you're telling me that there's like 12-foot fairies out there waiting to kill us?
I love it.
Why?
But yeah, why? That's a great...
What do you mean? It's weird.
I think the twist should have been that there were no fairies.
That would be awesome.
They're just standing in front of a glass box. No issues. That would be amazing. They could have left at any point.
It's just like sound.
Well, I almost thought, because they kept that like reality TV show thing going.
Yes.
And it just never really seemed to tie in any. I mean, I get like they're in a box, whatever, people are watching them.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a strong enough thread to be there. And I was like, that maybe if it's some kind of fake thing.
If it had been a TV show, that would have been kind of fun. That would have been like the classic Shyamalan Senior style ending. Was
exactly.
It's a show.
And the old lady's like, I was a plant the whole time. That's why I knew all this dumb shit.
I was on season 3 of Season of Love.
Ooh. Or she plays one of the young people in that show. That'd be very cool. Now, that would have been a cool one.
Okay. That would have been cool. Tweet at us, Shyamalan Jr. Also, this is a weird thing. Knight isn't his real middle name. Like, it's his stage name.
Knight.
And her middle name is also Knight. Did they name her Knight after him? Maybe? Or do you think she has taken on the Knight Shyamalan?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's really weird.
I didn't even know she existed till this movie, so that's pretty wild. I was like, oh,
I knew she existed.
Oh, really?
Well, he had to tell Lady in the Water to someone.
Yeah, that's true. I think he made the Airbender movie for his kids.
Aw.
Which,
Sorry.
He really effed that up.
He loves them.
It's weird to be like, oh, this show you love, let me just completely just... Anyway.
Maybe they liked it. What if they liked it?
Maybe they did. I can't imagine that. But now that would be the true twist. Did he do the Trap movie that's coming out, or did he just produce? Okay, it is him directing.
Yeah,
that's gonna be wild.
That's
I'm
fucking
interested
awesome.
to see. I love Josh Hartnett, or is it Net? Josh Hartnett.
Hartbent. I wish it was Hartbent. Heartbent.
That's a good, like, hellbent. Oh, I'm heartbent. Like, you care about it so much.
Oh, yeah.
I'm heartbent on getting that done.
Tweet at us. Remind us of the word heartbent.
Yes.
Because it's a good one we can use in the future.
I like it. I'm heartbent.
Or it means you're heartbroken. You're heartbent.
Oh, I'm heartbent.
Or like you're slightly heartbroken.
I'm heartbent.
No. I'm heartbent.
Lucy, she left me heartbent.
Oh, no. Why'd you do it to me?
Because the fairies were once a part of it.
Now, this movie is no more silly than that movie where the guy's going to cut off his finger because of friendship. You know, that's just as silly as this movie.
It's a stretch.
It's like, well,
it's the Irish thing. You know,
yeah, they're silly
crazy.
people.
Yeah, there's a magic to it, because, like, who the hell would drive into a forest and be like, I wonder where we're going? Like, you would be like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, this must be kind of like a spell. It's like,
yeah. Was her boss a fairy?
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Why didn't... This is also just like a general filming thing that I liked,
but
didn't understand, is like she was always in very shallow focus, so everyone around her was out of focus.
I liked it. Cause you're not... she's a lost person, and like, I guess that's her mental state. Just like, isn't really engaging with the world.
Yeah, she won't even call her twin sister.
Nope.
Auntie. Give it to Auntie Mina.
Auntie Mina? Oh, yeah, and that was hilarious, that drawing he hands her. She's like bright red, looks hideous. I was like, oh my God. Who the fuck
She really does.
Yeah. Another thing I didn't like.
Yes.
After, I thought the Irish guy dying was such a, like, it made no sense. Like, the whole movie, they all know that they're being tricked. Why suddenly would he be like, oh, yeah, this dude's alive?
So stupid.
He's been out there for a really long time. And it also is weird when he shows up during the video camera scene. It's like, why is he naked? They never question why he's naked.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, that's him.
The fairies, they took my clothes.
Yeah, they took my clothes.
Hey, honey, they took my clothes.
That's all they want to do. They just laugh. They take your clothes and laugh at you.
They laugh at your dick or your balls.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes they pull up your balls and make fun of your taint. And like,
they take the balls, they stick them into your asshole.
Yeah.
And they go,
look like, he's got his balls in his arsehole.
They're applauding.
They love when we stand still and look at the mirror. And now, I've remembered a thing I did like.
Oh.
I like them looking into the mirror.
Yeah, that's good.
I thought that was accomplished very seamlessly.
I thought so too.
And I thought of one shot I really liked. There's a shot at the very beginning where we see her from behind. She's putting on a wig, and then she like leans down, and then the camera's in front of her, and she leans back up, and we see her reflection in the mirror, cool. And it's cool.
There's one where Dakota's looking right at herself, and she looks like the way the glasses. She looks like bigger than herself.
Yes.
And like, kind of weird. I like that. I was like, that's really nice. Cool. Yeah, there is some nice stuff, and I think it was artfully done, like shot and stuff. Yeah. That's why I really didn't like how it just kept spinning. I was like, just end it, because now it's getting too. This is where maybe the book stuff came in, I guess, because books can get away with it. They can just keep. Adding shit. But like Lord of the Rings or whatever. But like it just is like as a movie, just end it with them leaving or something.
Especially because it's like, well, they don't. At least in the movie, they don't accomplish anything that exciting in the last 12 minutes.
No, not
like that's
really.
Some of the worst stuff in the movie.
It's and it's like so just like heavy-handed, which is like. I am a halfling and like learning all that. You're like, oh
just
God,
like
I'm
talking.
over this.
Me?
Yeah,
I'll tell you all about me.
Before I kill you, I'll tell you every.
I'm a halfling.
Even if they had like gotten on the bus and then they pan to like the research of the guy and then you see like the lady in the photo. And you're like, oh, and then
that'd
like
be great.
An obituary and you're like. And you have to piece together that she was a fairy.
That'd be great.
That'd be way more interesting.
That would have been.
But.
It wouldn't have been a good movie necessarily, but it would have been like a C plus, versus like just a C or C minus. So it's kind of like a mid C, right?
Mid C.
It's like not unbearable. Yeah. It didn't really go down easy or hard.
Yeah, it was just kind of like all right.
And it also makes it much harder to talk about.
Yeah, it is.
It's just like, well,
it wasn't. Yeah,
it was fine, and it.
It's not.
There were actors in it.
There were actors.
Yeah,
acting. 4 actors
at least.
1
4.
lady who's had, I think, 1 million lines and spoke. I just feel like when you're shooting that, you should be like, this doesn't really work. She just keeps talking. The whole time. Like,
and it's not like. It's never funny.
No,
it's
so
never
serious.
Character building.
Yeah,
it's like simply telling things.
It's very weird.
Yeah,
I don't think it was necessary.
Oh, you can't go down in the holes because the holes are where the burrows are, and the watchers go down in the holes. And don't forget, there's the.
I would have loved if she just started spinning off and like walking into a corner talking.
What if they and the watchers they're coming and they knock on the door? But don't ever answer the door because it's not your husband. It could be.
We needed a scene where like her form started changing, her eyes started slipping. She's like, oh no, moment. Her nose is like down. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
drips.
This is what I didn't like. I hated.
Yeah.
This maybe should have been my low main.
Okay, let's make it.
Did I already say a low main?
Who knows?
Oh yeah, I did. But this is
worse.
Maybe no, because that just doesn't work for a movie. But I just didn't like this. They kill the Irish guy, and then like hundreds of naked Irish guys come out, and you're like, this is so stupid looking. Like, it's not scary. I've never found just like humans being like just naked human. That's been a thing lately.
Yeah.
I think maybe Hereditary did it best, but it's just like I don't.
It's like kind of gross.
Yeah, it's just like
and creepy.
Yeah,
but it's not like no.
And these are just a bunch of like young white guys just like staring. And you're like, what Yeah. I mean, some are like tall, which
and
is
they
so
don't even
funny.
have their dicks out. Or anything. Like that's the scary thing about like weird old people. If you show their weird old tits or they're like soggy,
they're like we couldn't
balls.
see his penis, so they could never replicate.
Oh, maybe so.
They have to watch the penis to create the penis.
Yeah, but that part is not scary at all.
No, and I was like almost laughing. I was like, they look so stupid.
They look
like at least just leave them fogged if you're not gonna. Like,
they look like Dr. Manhattan, kind of like roughly like Dr. Manhattan. Me, I'm blue.
Yeah.
Why am I blue? I don't know.
Just cause.
Because that's what happens when you're a fairy transforming into a person. You are blue. You're blue. We all know that to be true.
I think they should have all been fairy creepies, and one person.
Yeah, that would have been fine.
That would have been way better than. I just didn't get it. I didn't get that. I was like,
that part sucked.
This is dumb.
But we can't only talk about The Watchers, can we?
No. Never be so foolish.
We also have to talk about the other movies we watched this week, which brings us to a segment we like to call Panda Express presents Express Yourself about the movies you watched this week. Play the theme song.
Ding 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 bink bink bink. It's time for the Panda Express. Ding ding, because we got some things express. Boop boop about the things we watched. Ding ding this week. Dun dun dun.
What you watch?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Michael watched nothing.
I was so worried. I was like getting this trip in order and all this stuff.
That's okay.
Because I'm live. I don't. If you're just listening,
He's live.
In the
He's in the studios.
Yeah.
Live from the Food Court Studios in Anaheim, California. It's Food Court, starring Mampy as Mampy and Sean as John.
And the fairies were once.
And me as the fairy Hevling.
It is just a kind of stupid.
That's pretty stupid. And that's the thing is, that was another thing I thought is... Like, Lady in the Water has a lot of silliness to it.
Yeah, very silly.
It's very goofy. It's very silly. All the characters are in it are ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
There's like a guy with one big arm. The whole world is like silly. Fantastical.
But also the things, at least, I don't know, maybe it's from some culture, but it was like, felt like its own mythology made up.
Yes.
Like, fairies are coming to...
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this is like an interesting, its own thing, which I liked.
But... The Watchers is like, it's never silly. It never feels particularly fantastical, even though obviously there's fairies.
Yeah.
But it's like, weird. It doesn't feel like a world where there would be fairies.
No, it's just like, oh, okay.
Whereas, like, in my opinion, Lady in the Water is like, okay, when there's like a grass monster, you're like, oh shit.
Oh, wow. Because,
this is bad.
I like that it switches from like goofy to silly, and like it's a kind of a mix, and like the guy who gets killed by the grass monster, you're kind of like, oh, that guy sucked.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I know. People will say all this stuff.
The rules.
I liked it.
And the happening rules. I regret to inform you. You're going to have to watch it again. I thought it sucked too.
I couldn't do it, man.
Hey.
The lawnmower scene, I was like, not that lawnmower scene. The
rules.
lion scene, I can't do. I'm like, this is pure goofiness to me.
But when people are jumping off the roof, you have to admit that's cool.
Pretty good.
Okay. We got him, folks.
Now, you know what else is good? The Forgotten. Have you heard of this movie?
What is that?
That's
not a movie.
Been forgotten, but it was Julianne Moore.
Okay.
Her son goes missing.
Yeah.
Big spoiler alert.
Don't spoil
I won't
it.
Spoil it. The whole thing is...
Don't spoil it.
Okay. Well...
I haven't seen it.
There's just a gimmick that is pretty cool that I think you'll like. That's all I'll say.
Well, I'll watch it.
It is in the trailer, the gimmick, but I won't
Don't spoil it. You know what I watched? The Sixth Sense.
Oh!
Spoiler alert about The Sixth Sense. It's a great movie.
Okay.
But this also... It's awesome. They played it at my beloved Belcourt Theater.
Yes.
My buttocks were hurting terribly, as usual. And the night before that, I watched. They just re-released 4 of Man Ray's shorts in like a little combo pack.
Man Ray
with music by Jim Jarmusch that I thought would be annoying because it's like, well, the director did music for, but it is like, it's pretty, droney avant-garde music, which you would expect.
Yeah.
And it works okay.
Exactly.
But it was really cool to see those.
All right.
Have you seen any of Man Ray's films?
Have
you seen his pictures, obviously?
Yeah, the pictures. Yes, the pictures.
The films are interesting.
Okay.
They're a bit tedious.
Yeah, classic.
But it is kind of fun because I was saying this as we walked out. It's cool to see, like, this is what people were doing when they first figured out that they could film things.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Like, this is like the first thing he was like, I don't know, what if I painted eyeballs on a lady's eyelids and then she opened her eyes?
Yeah, that's pretty
cool. That would be cool. And what if I got a
cool.
prism and like put it on a like rotating wheel?
Yeah.
And then I filmed that. Wouldn't that be cool? And you're like, yeah, that actually is really
very
cool.
Cool, dude.
One of the shorts is called The Starfish.
Oh.
And almost all of the I'll call them scenes, have this like very interesting, I don't know if it's a filter or what it is, but like it looks like old glass. You know how like old glass has that sort of like waves? Cool. So, and everybody's like just a little out of focus and got the foldy glass.
Yeah.
And it's super cool.
That's pretty cool.
And also it's interesting because like you definitely see his power as like a still life artist.
Yeah.
Because there's these moments that are like, oh, that looks like one of his pictures. Like there's one moment where there's like a guy holding a jar that has a starfish in it, and you're like, oh wow, that's a beautiful picture.
Wow.
And yeah, it's cool.
I love when movies are like that. Where you're like, oh wow, someone really knows what they're doing.
It does not have. Another thing I was thinking while I was watching it is like, oh, it's rare when things in a movie look good.
Yeah, it is.
Because you see some of the stuff in this, and you're like, oh wow,
that's cool.
You can make a movie look like a picture. You can like tell people to stand in the right place so that it looks like a beautiful
light
picture.
it a certain way.
It's crazy.
I don't know
to
what
think
the
of.
movie's called, and I don't know if it was any good, but I saw a clip of it where like it's all these famous paintings, and the movie's about like the real staging of it, and like I forget
that's
what
cool.
it was. But I was like, that looks pretty neat.
Yeah.
It was cool to see, but who knows what that is.
Hey, tweet at us if you know what that movie is.
I think it's on Criterion.
Tweet at us if you've seen the Man Ray films. Unlikely, but maybe you have.
Maybe you have.
They're definitely on YouTube because they're from
YouTube.
way before copyright.
Yeah,
right?
what is
they have
that?
to be.
I don't even know what copyright is.
If you've seen The Sixth Sense, tweet at us.
Oh yeah.
If you've seen The Watchers,
The
tweet at
Watchers.
us.
Tell us what you thought.
If you know what we're watching next week,
yeah, give us some suggestions.
what are we watching next week?
I know I want to see Quiet Place when it comes out, but that's I think
Is
in
that
2
soon?
weeks. Yeah, I think that's in 2 weeks.
I'll watch that. You know,
Yeah.
Quiet Place 2 was whatever. And
Yeah,
Quiet
it's
Place
fine.
1 was awesome.
Yeah, I love that one.
Mampy, it was a pleasure doing this episode with you.
It was great.
I'm sorry that this is the last episode ever of the show.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We're never going to do it again.
Nope, that's it.
But we will see you next week.
On
Food.
court.
On
Food.
behalf
Of
Mampy,
me.
I,
Am.
Sean, saying to you, Bon Appetit.